I thought that was you peeing.
It was. This is Behind the Scenes with Brew and Ink Podcast. Okay, so everyone give a good hearty laugh, like Evie just
Ha
said
ha
something
ha! Ho ho ho!
Oh my word!
Yeah.
Yours like spikes.
Yeah. That was I had to turn down a lot of our laughing last time because.
Oh really?
Yeah. I think we were running a little hot last time to begin with.
I'm always running hot, baby.
Oh yeah.
What?
How's that sound for everybody now?
Bringing duct tape one of these days.
I know, right?
And you're gonna have to sit through the whole thing without saying a word.
A word about what?
Any word.
You're gonna do a whole podcast duct tape. I would just like to see how that would work.
Yeah, right. That's all I hear.
A whole podcast of what? What happened?
Brett, that's
you
a very
duct
good
taped.
point, Brett.
I had duct tape on my foot
Thanks for telling me that.
since you told me.
Right.
Corn repair, huh?
I'm trying
Let's
it.
see if we
It's
can get
not
another
really
good sound
working very
effect.
well.
Ready?
Booyah.
Oh. I just got sprayed in the face.
Yeah, no. Sorry about that.
That is all right.
All right.
So we are recording, and I'm just going to let it run, and
Oh, cool.
when we want to begin, we can.
Boneyard, episode 5. Feet shuffled around the other side of a pile of 2 cars with a fridge leaned up against it, 8 or 10 yards away, a ticking sound coming from the instrument. Something's over here, a dog growled. Hold on, boy. Troy waved. What happened?
The way you just read that.
The way you read it, it sounded like the dog said that. I swear to God, it sounded like the dog said that.
Right. Something's over here, a dog growled.
That was so wrong.
That's a good point. All right, I'm starting over. No more cherries for Bill.
Damn it, I was right. It sounded like that. I wasn't the only one that heard that.
Yeah, you're right. Reading it, you're right. Reading it, it sounds like that.
We got Scruff McGruff on the scene now.
Wow. Scooby-Doo.
I will say this is kind of an
That'd be a
aside,
great
but
set to sell.
on one of the podcasts I listened to, the Mark Dawson, with like the self-publishing marketing thing, he had a guy on there, and they started, I forget what they called it, but they're launching this website where basically you pay money, and they give you the cover, the title, the characters, and the story.
Interesting.
And you get to write
And
it.
you just go write it. So basically, these guys are professional at what they do, and basically, like, this is guaranteed to sell.
Huh.
This is like, so you pay, that's like big money, like 10.
It sounds to me like a publishing house that does, like Harlequin novels or whatever. They have a pattern, they have characters, they have everything, and you take it and you write it.
Yeah.
That'd be so much fun.
And they know they can sell it because it's their
already-
wheelhouse.
They
Yeah.
pay you $4,000 to write it, and you do it in 2 months, and you're done.
It doesn't sound. It sounds like you pay them.
Yeah. And in this one, you pay them, but basically, it's all done. Like the cover, like all the, editing wasn't part of it. Like editing would be different, but it would be separate. But anyway, it's just, I thought it was an interesting idea. Like,
Yeah.
because they were like, look, like there's a couple guys and they write books together. And they've been making all this money in self-publishing, and they're like, well, what if we came up with ideas
Yeah.
that we knew based on our experience with the cover and the tagline and the blah, 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 like all this stuff was gonna be pre-made basically to sell.
Dude, when can we get to that point?
And
You pay us to give you ideas.
it's coming one day.
Nice.
Right? Yes.
Sorry,
We
I'll
can
have
get
a
there.
client.
Yeah.
Give me 2 seconds.
All right.
2 seconds.
I have a client.
Yeah.
If I write them after, this will be too late to write my client. So.
Get it. So I'll open by talking about the burr as well. Burr.
The what?
The burr.
Got it.
Yeah.
The bar.
I thought you said the bear.
The bear. Yeah, the
It was
bear.
the bar.
Bears
The
The
burr.
bars.
eat beets.
That'll work.
Bears beats Battlestar Galactica.
Oh.
I'm not sure I'd want to write that.
I don't think so.
Come on, you guys haven't seen The Office?
Yeah,
Oh yeah.
I have.
When he dresses up like Dwight and he shows up. Bears eat beets. No, they don't.
All right, let's.
Right.
We really should market a writer's emergency kit, which
Yes.
is a roll of duct tape, some safety pins, and a flask of liquor.
Now,
And some earplugs.
And a lock, like
a
a
lock.
padlock.
Yeah. So Bill has busted back out the cherries.
Yeah, it's like
I'm surprised he didn't finish those.
I know, I am too. That they're even still there. I brought huckleberries. I don't know if you guys are gonna like
I
it, but
finish them someday. I just haven't
What
felt
is
like.
this?
it's like very.
Like it
Who's
was
this?
necessary. You're gonna need that.
Oh yes, thank you.
Is
Sir.
this me here? Am
No,
I no, that's
don't
you.
do that. That dang.
I
Trying
don't
to
know.
get me.
Don't do that. That dang.
We need to name our microphones with Bond girl names. Yeah.
I'm
This
gonna-
is Miss Nicebottom.
Oh yes.
Oh,
yeah.
it'll snap out.
Hey,
snap it
good
out.
job. All right.
Even though you killed Carl Jr.
No burgers for us, huh?
He blowed up real good. Anybody ever see that SCTV? Remember that?
Nope.
Okay. all right.
Sorry.
No
Anyway,
one,
options.
No one that listens to this podcast is going to get that. So there you go.
So what's gonna happen? They're gonna go get the stones and then.
They're going to pick up the stones, and then I came up with two options. They try to get out of town. They're trying to think, look, there's a quarantine going on. They got to get out of town. Or to kind of continue with the car and the garage thing.
Right.
Let's go back to the garage. We've got the stones. We know what it can do. We know some of the stuff.
We've got the keys to this car.
We got the keys to this
Yeah.
car. Let's go back to Dad's house. Let's go back to Dad's garage. He's the mechanic. He's got moonshine, all that stuff. Let's go back there.
Because that's important
Whiskey.
after you just watched a white boy blow
Their,
up,
their
right?
dad had whiskey.
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 No, I'm sorry.
That's-
The dad had
yeah.
Carl
whiskey.
Jr. had moonshine. You remember Carl Jr., the one you blew up?
Look, Carl Jr. was drinking PBR, and then this dude was
And
been
moonshine.
drinking for like 5 years.
Carl Jr. had a hearty explosion.
He had a hearty explosion.
Oh,
All
I was
right.
finally caught up.
So
with it.
those
I
are
love it.
those are my two options. What's the third?
Third option, I would love to give another destination option. I like that these two are both. The audience is able to pick where should they go. Are they going out of town? Are they going to Dad's garage? I would love a third option. Do they maybe do not pass go? Do not collect $200? Go straight to jail.
Yeah, I think that the army should show up in time to stop.
The
Yeah,
army's
two
already
guys and a
there.
two
They
guys-
are there.
Oh, I know,
Yeah.
but there's
Yeah.
only two guys. I want
Two
them to
guys
be
and a
like,
couple of dogs, or a dog.
And there's
It's
a
not
whole-
a
But
big
there's a
force.
but there's a quarantine going on.
There was a
So they're-
quarantine, and there was just a
they're
big
everywhere.
explosion. So
Yeah.
right.
you could conceivably have somebody show up quickly. Some
So,
authority
so
show up
why are
quickly.
they focused on the boneyard in the first place?
Because the detectors went off, and they kept getting. Because that's what I wrote. Was
Yeah.
the detectors were
Yeah,
getting closer and closer and closer
Yeah,
and
yeah,
closer,
yeah.
and they were
Okay, so
zoning
we
in
gotta
on that
focus
area.
on that
Which
area.
was one of the things I had to remind Britt of was they didn't have dogs. They had these little.
They had little buzzy things,
Yeah.
okay?
So you've got a way to track this energy. This
Right.
Exactly.
force.
So if they take those
Okay,
stones,
and they're focused on this area already.
Mhm.
So are they going to send two guys and a dog, or are they going to send a whole lot of guys, and maybe there's just two guys and a dog at that spot?
Hit that spot.
So
I think
so
that's a
there's
viable
real,
option.
Yeah, there's a viable option that they run right into the middle of a swarm.
Yeah.
Yep.
Of guys with rifles.
I know we keep dangling
Machine
this carrot on
rifles.
the stick for you guys.
I know
Sure.
it's like
It's
for
okay
crying
that
out
you don't
loud.
pick it. We're fine with that because it does complicate it if they get caught. But it complicates it in a way where we can get really creative.
Yeah.
But I do like the option of going to Dad's garage because then there's that whole scene we're bringing back Mary Jane's car and don't get a scratch on it.
Well,
Right.
And we could do a lot with that.
Yeah.
And
There's
Daddy.
a lot of conflict going back into the environment of an alcoholic.
Right.
And
Oh yeah, and
and
he's
his
been drinking.
kids.
He's not happy with
he's
his
not
kids
coherent,
already.
He's not happy.
Yeah.
And he's a hindrance to them. And when they're trying to find
Yeah.
a way out. So, that's a good story. And it's a real story.
Yep.
Yeah, and trying to get out of town that switches things up. And,
Yeah, where are they gonna
it
go?
Opens it up in any direction.
Yeah,
really.
that opens it up.
and
where
and
would
it
they
brings
go?
back conflict with the quarantine because they're
You're trying to
quarantined.
get. Yeah.
They can't get out.
Well,
Without,
either way, there's an
yeah.
escape thing
So
that's
are
gotta
we going to
happen.
say that option number 3, once again, is they get caught?
They get caught.
They
Hint,
get
hint.
busted. And
Bobby.
while, hey, think about this, guys. When they get caught as a story option, Getting caught means you're in the environment of the guys that have all the information that you don't have.
That's true.
Yeah. So our three options are: they try to get out of town.
Mm-hmm.
They try to we got to get out of Dodge.
Get out of Dodge.
We got to get out of Dodge. Or they try to go back to the garage,
Mm-hmm.
tinker somehow there, or they get caught. Those are the three options. So
Good,
we're going to
yeah.
put that on Facebook. We're going to put it on the website.
Right.
No,
Yeah.
not at
Everything
all.
in me was like, no,
Just
you are not
try.
allowed to do that. Like, you just can't. But I didn't write, and I finally I was like, the only thing I noticed is that you said white too much. And that's all I wrote.
And I did take that out.
I
yeah,
said the
oh
same
yeah,
thing.
you did great. But it was so hard to just be like,
I gave him
You
a
can do
detailed
whatever you
lecture on automatic or machine rifle versus machine gun versus carbine versus
you really?
rifle, and he didn't pay any attention to it.
oh.
That's a question I kind of wanted to ask you.
Caught that.
Yeah.
And we could have this on the recording if you want. We're just recording, but
You can edit out whatever is bad.
yeah. So when you got all three of our ideas, what were the thoughts going through your head? What were things that you looked at and said, nah, I don't need to do that? And then what were the things where we all three were like,
I had
Nailed the point.
two jobs.
uh-huh.
Kill Carl
Yeah.
Now, why did you have to
What
kill
is
Carl?
wrong with you?
and get them out of the bunker.
But we liked Carl, and you hated Carl,
Those
didn't you? You didn't like Carl.
those are to me them in the bunker. There's
Uh-huh.
no story in the bunker. There's no action in the bunker.
Right.
So for me,
You got him out, and that was great.
for me,
yeah.
I had two jobs:
Yeah.
kill Carl, get out of the bunker.
Yeah.
And I did both at once.
Question. Why is the stone glowing in her hand now?
I wasn't sure where I was going to go with that. That was a little discovery writing.
Oh, we got to figure that one out.
Right?
We have to kill him right now.
Yeah, I was about to say.
Because I was thinking, I can easily explain this. The differentiation between.
I was
somebody-
thinking.
You got that recording going? Keep it going.
Okay.
I was thinking it gave them powers,
Uh huh.
and I had this very epic scene in my head that didn't go here.
So the stone glowing in her hand is the result of je ne sais quoi.
Did he already activate him? Did Carl activate him?
Well, the fact that she could use it for if the additive was giving her powers, then now this stone could maybe give her powers, but I didn't have time to do that.
Or the word count.
That's what I'm saying. I didn't have the word count.
So you left that to us.
Like I literally had the
Good luck.
I had the scene in my head that she comes out of the boneyard of that bunker. With stones in her hands, ready to fight. And then the junkyard starts coming together and making like a big robot.
Oh, a golem.
And now she can like control metal with it. She can control stuff with it.
Is that really what you were
Nearly
thinking?
enough.
That's where I was gonna go, and I'm like, I'm at like 1,400
I was gonna
words.
say, word count wise, that was never gonna
Well,
happen.
the good news is he ran out of words.
He's only stealing your cherries.
So, okay, that's interesting. I was thinking as we've been writing, I was like, okay, what are the differences between what we've done with this additive, and for the car, she had ground it up into a dust, added alcohol to it, and it made the fuel more efficient, and it made the car go faster.
Right.
But then Troy added too much all at once, and it blew up.
And I'm thinking, now he's gone Iron Giant on us.
Yeah. Then the fumes from it burning when inhaled gave, extra healing factor, physical attributes, healing and some strength and speed. It seems
Right.
from it burning. So that's different.
Enhancing life.
So we've got a powder alcohol based substance that is increasing fuel and stuff. But we've got once it's burning, an inhalation with a different effect.
Actually, I like yours.
Now we've shown that
So do I.
the rock itself, being in its full form, when touched by someone loaded with liquor, has an even
So none of us
stronger
touch it.
reaction. Which I think makes sense because it's the whole, like a whole stone. Like
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
not
yeah.
just
Right.
a grounded up powder of it. So like super strong.
Yeah,
reaction.
forget about the recording for a minute. Right now, we're in danger of tripping over each other on story ideas. We have so many good story ideas that when you have 4 people writing this
Yeah.
stuff,
So I think
we
the
could
only
actually get in
hole
trouble.
the only
I mean-
hole is she's holding it, but she doesn't have any kind of alcohol in her
Right.
system. But now it's reacting to
Yep.
her.
You're gonna have to fix that.
So that's something I'm thinking. It's glowing because she got. You
Maybe
know,
she got some of Carl on her.
yeah.
Carl could have
residue.
activated all the stones just
Yeah.
by being in it. Who knows?
Just the
But-
explosion.
Because I'll be honest,
Sorry,
the
Steven,
hardest
you get to
part
fix that.
Yeah.
where this is the first time where I feel like, oh my goodness, this is a writing exercise. Because where you took the story, I was like, are you kidding me? Like, how the heck am I gonna write this?
Yeah.
Like,
Well, you're not. It's
I
him.
know, but and I even told
Yeah,
Lee,
but
I
we got to
said,
follow Steven, and that's
I
even
said
harder.
to Lee, I was like, thank you, Lord, that there are 3 people between me. Because, I'm the third
Yeah.
person. Because I'm like,
Well, you know what's funny? Is I wrote in the bunker scene, kind of as a place for us to say where maybe something originated from.
Right.
And it took, 2 other
All
writers
the way
for
around.
us to get back to it.
Exactly.
And I thought it was great. I was like,
Which
oh,
is
wow,
perfect.
This is awesome. Yeah.
but it was like the first time where I realized, part of the fun is that you cannot control the next writer.
No,
like,
not at
everything
all.
in me was like, no, I got
Can we cut for just a second and say this is an option to start over? Because both of these are very optional views. They try. Or we say they get out of town. They go back to their dad's garage as the options.
No, they need to be able to go there because if they try, that gives too much power to the writer to ignore what the audience did.
Right. So that's what I'm saying.
So
You
me.
need to leave that
It's me.
try
I
part
like
out.
ignoring people. No.
I
know
Steven
that.
does what he wants.
I know that, but we need to leave out they try and just say
Well,
they
I
go
can see,
back.
well, I can see why he would say they try to get out of town because that is going to be something they have to try to do with the quarantine. But they go back to Dad's garage, and whichever they pick. Obviously, I'm gonna get them to that point. Like,
I'm sorry to bring that up now, but I looked at these options as being non-options. They weren't.
No, I thought about it
They
too.
were options, but
I
they
think-
weren't focused.
I think
They
it
weren't
worked. You can mess
directives.
with them.
I think it works with option 1. I think option 2 is they go back to Dad's garage because that's just more direct.
I think
Yeah.
just to me, either option was going to take. There was a conflict of getting past
Of getting
the
over a
quarantine.
And
hurdle.
is that
Yeah.
where you want it to, like, you're the writer. You get to decide. Is that where you want it to go? Is the fact that the next person is going to write about their journey, or are they going to write about them having left? Okay.
Well, that's one of the reasons why I said they try to go somewhere. Like they're trying to go to because I figure in 1,500 words you probably can't get them there.
Maybe even
So they try to get out of town. They try to go back to their dad's garage. I'm fine either way.
Okay.
If you just said they get out of town or they get,
Yeah. Well, and
that probably makes it easier. I think Bill's right. I think that makes it easier because that way you could say they get to this place or they get to that place or they get caught. Because with just trying, they could get caught in all 3.
yeah.
Right.
So I don't.
That was my point.
I don't know what I'm writing yet next, but I do know what I think I want the options to be.
I know, and every
based
time
around.
it's the opposite. I'm telling you, don't.
Well,
You
well-
mean you're in the end of yours?
Yeah.
Those options
okay.
for you.
Yeah. So it just theme wise, I
Okay.
think I know what and it's a matter of how do I get to that point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I'm gonna say they get out of town, they go back to their dad's garage, or because
Okay.
that
Or they
word
get
"try"
caught.
is too broad.
So
All right. Well, let's
read
start
it
over.
again. Yeah.
Let's start. Are we gonna
Just
snap
so-
it in?
Sure. Snap it in. Hey, good job, Britt. All right. So what are the options now? They're
All right. So option number 1 would be that they get out of town. So they decide.